What do you think? I mean, he really whiffed when it came to a nice, clean, classy resignation.
Oh, no, I thought he was extremely classy, and
he said he doesn't even believe the women.
Let me finish.
I will.
So he said it's the worst day of his life. And I don't think you're a human being unless you understand that that man was at the pinnacle of success in terms of his political life. He said he came to politics late in life, but he worked very hard, and he worked in the tradition of, you may not know this name, but Paul Wellstone, who was a terrific senator from Minnesota, very much a progressive, kind of, farm labor Democrat type of persona that fits into Minnesota. And Al Franken had to strive to get beyond the image that he was just a comic and to be dismissed as a political neophyte. And he did so, and he is a very popular senator, both in Minnesota and nationally, so much so that people were talking about Al Franken running for president. So now you come to a day when all of this goes to tatters, and his allies, I mean, people like Kirsten Gillibrand, Patty Murray, are leading the fight to toss him overboard. I don't see how you can say that this wasn't bitter and sad day. He calls it the worst day of his life. But let me go on and say...
Worst things have happened on this day.
No, well, I think for him, I'm just saying, for him, I think it's pretty sad. And I feel for him. I'm so sorry that this has happened. But I will say this, that I find myself in an odd situation where I agree with people like Laura Ingraham and Sean Hannity. They, too, think that this is Democrats turning on one of their own and throwing them overboard for political purposes, that they will then be better positioned in terms of confronting charges against Roy Moore, especially if he's elected and there's attempts to have him thrown out, as well as to continue the challenge against President Trump and the charges that he has standing to this day against him in terms of women who say that he acted in a vulgar manner with them.
Can I respond to Juan? Because I agree. I do think this is a strategic move on their part. What they're trying to do, I keep hearing the phrase partisan divide over sexual harassment. So by doing this, they're basically saying we're not the Republicans. So I think both sides can be right. I feel bad for Al Franken, but I also feel that he is lying because I know for a fact he's lying because I've talked to the people.
No, but that's not the point. The point is, what is he lying about, Greg? So is he lying about
the tongue down women's throats?
No, I don't. Look, he said that some woman said that he tried to wet kiss her, but that's one. Generally, what we're talking about is
more than one.
Is groping, right? While pictures are being taken. I think that's a whole lot different than what we're talking about with Roy Moore or even President Trump.
Okay.
But I just think at this moment, something is going on in the country, man.
I agree, and also, he said his other strong defense was. What he did is what you're saying is nothing as serious as allegations directed at other people. I actually agree. We have an indiscriminate leveling of accusations.
It's unbelievable.
All accusations are equal, and we're going to have to deal with that at some point, rather than letting the court of public opinion and then media indiscriminately decide that all of these things are equal. I think that what he did before he became a senator was his flaw. I mean, he thought that this was funny, and and when it all came out, it should have come out before.
Well, but the thing is, it didn't happen while he was a senator, which is something we're talking about, right? With many of these other people. That's what even the allegations are prior to his tenure as a senator. But what strikes me time and again is, right now, we're in the country, and I appreciate the fact that you spoke to me honestly, because I think there's so much politics at play in this. So on one level, we're talking about we need to deal with the issue of sexual harassment and intimidation of women and women being silenced and afraid to speak. But on another level, we're talking politics here. We're just talking about Al Franken, Roy Moore, John Conyers, and it's going to go on and on because both sides see some advantage in this.
All right. Well, did the FBI give special treatment to Hillary Clinton? Its director grilled on the Hill today that anti-Trump agents and more when the Five returns.
This program is brought to you by Ford, going further so you can.
The Ford year-end sales event is in full swing.
You are going to be a big surprise. Oh, I see a big puppy. Hey, Greg.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now get exclusive holiday offers with 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
You've never seen anything like this. Ridiculous, outrageous talent doing ridiculous, outrageous stuff. Tune into Game Show Network on December 20th at 9 p.m. to watch Kmart's Ridiculous Cash Bash Game Show. You've got to see it to believe it.
Here's the story of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Sumatra Reserve. Let's go to Sumatra. The coffee here is amazing because the volcanic soil is amazing. So we give farmers like Vin more plants to grow more delicious coffee, which helps provide for Vin's family. All for...
How did you talk me into this? This is crazy! Horns! Watch the horns! Okay.
What you don't see can hurt you. If you just monitor your credit, you can miss certain identity theft threats. LifeLock sees more, like your personal information on the dark web. And if there is a problem, we'll work to fix it with our $1 million protection package. LifeLock, starting at $9.99 a month.
Your new landscaping looks amazing. Who did you use?
I found a great local pro on HomeAdvisor.
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. It's really easy to use. I just put in what I need and then they connect me with background check pros who can help.
Did you find your painter there too?
Yep, I use HomeAdvisor for everything.
How much does it cost?
It's free. And check it out. I can even book an appointment online.
That's so easy. How did I not know about HomeAdvisor?
Go to HomeAdvisor.com now or download the free app.
HomeAdvisor.
Have you been told you can't get high-speed internet where you live? Well, you can with HughesNet Gen 5. Experience the power of next-generation satellite internet wherever you live. HughesNet Gen 5 is fast. You'll get 25 megabits per second, plus built-in Wi-Fi, and there's no hard data limits. So wherever you live, now you can do more of everything you love online. Connect on social media, stay informed, watch the latest videos, and help your kids get ahead. No wonder HughesNet is America's #1 choice for satellite internet.
Act now to save big and get a 2-year price lock guarantee, plus free standard installation.
So what are you waiting for? Get HughesNet Gen 5.
To order, call 1-800-743-9610. Be sure to ask about our home phone service too. Call 1-800-743-9610 today.
There is no finer institution than the FBI, and no finer people than the men and women who work there and are its very beating heart.
The director of the FBI issuing a firm defense of his agency on the Hill today following a comment from President Trump that his agency is in tatters. Christopher Wray had a very different take at a House Judiciary Committee hearing earlier. Listen.
The FBI that I see is tens of thousands of agents and analysts and staff working their tails off to keep Americans safe from the next terrorist attack, gang violence, child predators, spies from Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. The FBI that I see is tens of thousands of brave men and women who are working as hard as they can to keep people that they will never know safe from harm. Now, do we make mistakes? You bet we make mistakes, just like everybody who's human makes mistakes. We will hold our folks accountable if that's appropriate.
Wray also addressed concerns from Republican lawmakers about political bias against President Trump by at least one FBI agent, Peter Strzok. Also, whether that agent once softened language in the Clinton email case.
Peter Strzok, who is a special agent at the FBI, changed the words grossly negligent to extremely careless in former Director Comey's statement closing the Clinton investigation. Are you aware of that?
I've heard some of the same information you have. The investigation into Secretary Clinton is currently the subject of an outside independent investigation by the Inspector General, and I think it would not be appropriate for me to speculate about what the Inspector General will or will not find.
All right, Kimberly, yesterday you talked about the FBI, and I know you know a lot of the people that work there. I've worked there over the years. What did you think about how he handled the political pressure to answer as a political appointee, but also represent the FBI?
I thought he did an outstanding job. People had to feel across the country today better about the FBI under his stewardship. This was a man who was very credible, very reasonable. He had an excellent tone and tenor to his presentation. I found him to be very candid and forthright in terms of some of the problems that they've had and how they could improve upon it. And I believe him and take him at his word when he said that we will hold the people accountable that need to be. He seemed very reasonable and measured, that he would do a full and thorough investigation and root out any kind of bias or inappropriate conduct that occurred during the course of this investigation. It seemed to me that this was a good example of another excellent choice to be there at that organization.
He didn't close the door on the possibility of revisiting the Hillary Clinton email scandal.
Yes, that's
I thought
why
of you when
Kimberly
I saw that.
really enjoyed his presentation. I'm kidding. No, I think they're finally about to hit pay dirt when it comes to the real Russia scandal. Jim Jordan, the congressman, really, I think, peeled the thread back. And here's what it is. We know this guy, Strzok, anti-Trump guy, ran the Clinton email investigation and ran the Russia-Trump investigation. He was soft on Hillary and he was tough on the Trump people. That's already been established. But there's a belief now that this guy, Strzok, took the fake Russian dossier and used the dossier to apply for a FISA warrant that was then used to spy on the Trump campaign. So think about that. And he's stonewalling and won't answer questions about if he used it or not. So fake Russian dirt paid for by Hillary was used to spy on Trump. That's a huge story. And we also learned today another Department of Justice official has been demoted because he had contacts with the foreign agent who cooked up the fake Russian dossier and had contacts with the founder of the firm that Hillary paid to deliver the fake Russian dossier. And the FBI won't answer questions about it today in public. The DOJ is stonewalling congressional investigators. They're just trying to find out who was the person that applied for the FISA warrant to spy on the Trump team. What information? Was the dossier used as justification to get the warrant to spy on the Trump team? They're not getting answers. So what is the Department of Justice and the FBI hiding? Why are they afraid? And it's a Trump Justice Department. Why is the Trump Justice Department unanswering questions from House Republicans? It's very conspiratorial, and I think we're beginning to crack the case.
It's perfect for Waters World.
Yes, it is. Greg,
I'll get to the bottom of it.
I don't even know how the FBI is doing it, but the Justice Department officials are reading through over 10,000 texts between Strzok and the woman he was having an affair with, Lisa Page. I mean, 10,000.
That's amazing. First of all, I have to say I'm getting extremely tired of these hearings. They're on all the time. They're more ubiquitous than the Cars for Kids band.
Oh, boy.
Who are now opening
877 Cars for Kids.
They're opening for Radiohead, by the way. Did you know that?
Good. That's good
Okay.
booking.
So 10,000 texts. That's an amazing fact. What's amazing is that these two people aren't 14-year-olds. They're actual adults. But it makes me think, like, is the fact that there are 10,000 texts the problem? That people don't know when to stop texting. Like when you're in a situation where you're texting and you're polite and you think, I kind of want to end this, but if you stop texting, then you feel bad because you don't really say goodbye. You just stop.
You do one more.
So you do one more text, and then you think, well, maybe if that one more text, you buttoned it up a little bit, but then the other person kind of does it with maybe a little question, but maybe it's hypothetical, and then you got to sit there and you go, oh man, if I ignore this text.
Emoji.
Yeah, so I thought the emojis were the solution for ending texting relationships. But clearly, I'm wrong.
Can you imagine, like, if you're a Justice Department staffer and you're having
have to read these. LOL.
No, but then you have to translate the emojis. And what if there's like 10 of them?
10,000 texts.
No, 10 emojis in one line.
They're in love.
The strategy to muddy the waters and question the professionalism of the FBI seems to be working. And the CBS poll today showed that Republicans think that this is a political witch hunt, and Democrats think that this is absolutely that there's proof of collusion somewhere and that they're going to get there. So basically, the parties are just very far apart.
But that's where we've been. I mean, that's not a change. I mean, that's Republicans don't see anything, Democrats do. Independents, though, I might add, generally now are on the Democrat side of this equation.
Barely, but yes.
But what interests me on this is that you see the president's strategy is to attack Jim Comey. We know about that. But then to go after Robert Mueller in increasing intensity, even to the point of going after the FBI and now the Justice Department. And all of this, it seems to me, builds towards the idea that he might fire Robert Mueller. So you have people like, Karl Rove writing in the Wall Street Journal this morning, but others as well saying, in the Congress, don't fire the special counsel. And if you do, there's going to be consequences. So they're trying to put in place laws in Congress that would require the
conspiracy and turn it into basically questioned the political motives rather than actually thinking that the investigation was on the up and up.
Right. And so what you get an impeachment of a president. So I don't think it worked.
But he ended up, he was reelected.
But I think we're in different times too, Dana. Maybe. I think we are in more political times than we were even then. And that was highly politicized, if you'll recall, with Democrats again favoring Clinton and Republicans opposed.
I do recall.
Bill would be a Republican now.
Yes. Heck, policy-wise.
More ways than one.
Oh, boy.
You think
so? All
so?
right, we're going to move on. U.S. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn making headlines with some comments about President Trump. Who else? Next.
Every time you smile, I know why I'm here. Wherever I go and whatever I do, I was born to love you. I was born to love you.
You can't predict the market, but through good times and bad, at T. Rowe Price, we've helped our investors stay confident for over 75 years. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Introducing Steinmart sweaters, coats, boots, cashmere, dresses, jeans, fleece, pajamas, jewelry, quilts, tech, and stocking stuffers. Biggest 14-hour sale of the year. Get huge store-wide savings. Plus, find our $10 coupon online this Friday and Saturday at Steinmart.
As this year comes to an end, it's time to think about how you can make a lasting difference in the lives of hurting children around the world.
It never gets easier watching children and their families suffer. The equivalent of 30 jumbo jets filled with children die every single day. I've seen what happens when the world ignores these facts and turns its back on these children. But I've also seen what can be done when we care, when we act, when we do our part to help.
UNICEF has helped save more children's lives than any other humanitarian organization. Please call or donate online at helpunicef.org with your one-time or monthly gift.
As a UNICEF field worker, I've committed my life for the survival of these children. I've seen poverty, I've seen war. We're able to vaccinate, provide clean water, nutrition, education, child protection to all the most vulnerable children of the world.
When disaster happens, UNICEF is on the ground providing emergency relief.
I think the need for children in the world today is greater than it was 70 years ago when the organization was initially established.
UNICEF works in more than 190 countries and territories around the world. Our work depends on the continued support of caring donors who stand by our side. We can't help these children without you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Keep on the good fight.
You can make a lasting difference in the life of a child. Please go online at helpunicef.org or call the number on your screen right now.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Maybe it's time for Otezla, apremilast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable after just 4 months, with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your dermatologist about Otezla today. Otezla, show more of you.
Today, we're finally getting our bathtub redone. We weren't happy with it.
Oh, we didn't want the headaches of demolition.
Or the days without our bathroom. Then a friend told us about Bath Fitter and their unique tub-over-tub process. There's no demolition, and they install in as little as a day. They also have a seamless wall for a watertight fit. And Bathfitter has a lifetime guarantee. What a difference. Finally, a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
The Winter Olympics are coming, but will the U.S. participate? There are security concerns for Americans with the Games in such close proximity to North Korea. They're being held in the South. The White House says no official decision has been made yet, but America looks forward to participating. Meanwhile, U.S. Olympian skier Lindsey Vonn making some headlines today for taking some shots at President Trump.
I hope to represent the people of the United States, not the president. You know, I take the Olympics very seriously and what they mean and what they represent, what, you know, walking under our flag means in the opening ceremonies. And, you know, I want to represent our country well. And I don't think there are a lot of people currently in our government that do that.
And she didn't stop there. All right.
Would you accept an invitation to the White House if you were to win Olympic gold in Pyeongchang?
Absolutely not. No, but I have to win to be invited, so. No, actually, I think every U.S. team member is invited, so no, I won't go.
All right, so Dana, what do you make of this?
Well, this is, I remember I was very fortunate. I got to go to the Olympics in 2008 in Beijing.
Must be nice.
And I thought that this would be like, it would be like so non-political, because here you have it's sports, it's like the United Nations comes and they're going to compete. And it was weird being in the opening ceremony and feeling like when the North Koreans got announced, I was like, I don't like this. And then you could hear people booing the United States and Israel. And it was just much more political than I thought it would be. And I get that in terms of, especially if you look back at the American-Russian hockey game of night representatives, I would tell these athletes, you don't need to do these interviews. If you want to focus on winning, do that, because I think that the push from the media is going to try to make this all political, and it would be better for all of them if they could just focus.
These disparaging comments, it almost seems like. I mean, why not take a pass
I think
on
there's
it
a lot. I mean, a lot of they're not necessarily political people, or they have personal opinions. They're out there because they want to probably impress their sponsors. They want to get out there maybe to intimidate the competition, and they get asked these questions about the president, and it's a little bit irresistible for both the press and for the athlete to say that. Now, maybe it helps. Maybe she thinks it helps her amongst her peers, or maybe on social media. If she is surrounded by people that don't like the president, then that makes her feel better. I don't know. But I wouldn't answer the questions. I wouldn't even do the interviews.
Right. See, that's the thing. But who's advising them? And they're not politically astute, so they're not aware that perhaps this is going to have more far-reaching, implications or ramifications, Jesse. But it just seems almost like it's a little bit of like a popularity thing, like a cool thing to do, and kind of, be disrespectful and say, oh, no, I wouldn't go to the White House.
I could give him a point to say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lindsey's really on thin ice with me. It's a cold thing to say about the commander-in-chief. There's a mountain of evidence that she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She really got too far out over her skis on this one. It's really downhill from here for Lindsey. She peaked at the last Winter Games, got felled. I mean, she wants to participate to the race to the bottom. That's fine with me, but she's going to get a very chilly reception from the audience, and I don't need a poll to tell me that.
Wow, you memorized that almost. Very slight. It's like looking down, whatever.
That took me 3 hours.
It was pretty good.
Look at Greg. I mean, he's silent screaming inside after listening to that. Poor thing.
High expectations.
Pobrecito.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I did my own little research. Did you know the original Olympics were very strange? A lot of the athletes...
The issue that you guys raised is, could it damage her, Kimberly, with her audience or her fans or the advertisers? I mean, if you were advising her, you'd say, stay away from it, because we don't want to get in trouble with any segment of the audience. And she does rely on sponsors. So I think that, knowing as little as I do about Lindsey Vonn, I just think that must be what she believes. And I'll take her as being sincere. And this is not being a political act. The thing that concerned me was Nikki Haley, the UN ambassador, said today that there's a possibility the U.S. team will not go to
but then
South
Sarah
Korea.
Sanders put out a statement saying that the United States looks forward to being there.
Well, what struck me from what Nikki Haley says, it was an unsettled question. And
I think she was trying to be cautious, just
correct.
given
And I think that there's a real threat, given what we know about the North. So to me, that's the big issue here is, do we send a team? And then I think back to, you know, like when President Carter didn't send the team because he was upset with the Russians. I guess that's back in '78, or I don't remember the year. But to me, this is I don't like the idea that we would be withdrawing, especially in this year where the Russians have been thrown out. So it's like, hey,
Yeah, we're going to win them all.
we could win them all. But on the other hand, what's going on with the Olympics now that they become so political? I guess the Russian thing is about cheating with drugs and the like, but you can bet that Vladimir Putin and his guys are going to say this is political punishment for us, you know, and we win all the time. Oh, please.
Oh, please. All right, well, let's see. I hate to see, you know, the Olympics not participated in. It's just...
I think we're going.
I think so, too. So let's
It's
just
2
be
weeks of
optimistic.
something that's the size of JFK. It's 2 weeks of the size of a new airport. That's all it is. It'll probably be the safest place on Earth. If you're there at that compound, you're in the safest place.
Because Lauer's not going to be there.
That's true.
That
was better than the puns.
That was better than the puns. Yes. Okay, well, ahead, a stunning comment by President Obama about President Trump flying completely under the radar this week. Greg fills us in next.
What makes this simple salad the best simple salad ever? Heart-healthy California walnuts. The best simple pasta ever? California walnuts. The best simple dinner ever? Great tasting, heart-healthy California walnuts. So simple, so good. Get the recipes at walnuts.org.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like wet grocery bags, getting a bad haircut, overcrowded trains, turnstiles that don't turn, and spilling coffee on themselves. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV and for a limited time get a $100 reward card. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the halls, only one creature was stirring, and he was quite small. It was me, in my PJs, rolling quietly in my chair, just remembering all the amazing things that happened this year. We hugged our moms, ran races, and spread love everywhere. Then we saw firsthand that Shriners love and care. We went swimming, made music, and played dress up too. But all these miracles were only possible because of people like you. Merry Christmas from all of us. You made our dreams come true. You're a part of the Shriners Hospitals for Children family. We love you.
Because of people like you, Shriners Hospitals for Children is able to help kids like me.
And me.
And me. And me.
Only 63 cents a day gives a kid like me